Scandinavian 649, runway 2 to right, cleared for takeoff, wind 240 degrees, 11 knots.
Runway 2 to right, clear for takeoff, Scandinavian 649er.
EC21 Victor Victor, Copenhagen approach identified, passing 5,500, climb flight level 190.
Great, APR 1.4, let's set that. Crossed, auto throttle engage. Alright, take a power set. Aircraft rolling. Continue. Gear up.
Copenhagen approach today, Scandinavian 1641, holding short runway 30.
Scandinavian 1641, correction Copenhagen approach, hello, taxi holding point runway 2 to right via Alpha, cross runway 30.
Holding point runway 2 to right via Alpha, cross 30, approved, Scandinavian 1641.
Go
Scandinavian 649, Copenhagen approach identified, passing 1,300, climb flight level 190.
Climb flight level 190, Scandinavian 649er. I'll bring my first notch of flaps in, pick up some speed. Ignition can come off.
Lufthansa for Whiskey Alpha, leave Adobe heading 300.
Lufthansa for Whiskey Alpha, up.
Scandinavian 649, unfortunately nothing further, monitor advisory, 122, decimal 8, have a safe flight, bye-bye.
Going to Unicom, 122, decimal 8, thanks so much for the help, Scandinavian 649er.
My pleasure.
Bremen radar, Lufthansa 2811 at flight level 250, inbound no-go.
Lufthansa 2811, Bremen hello identified.
Bremen radar, Scandinavian 649er, flight level 240.
Scan 649, hello identified. Clipper 9045, contact Bremen radar 120, state Alice Zulu 27.
Descent to 3000 feet, QNH 1022, Alice Zulu 27 approach, is that correct? Sierra Delta 12.
AFM.
Crimson Air Force Mike 51, ready, copy Alpha.
German Air Force Mike 51, roger, standby. Scandinavian 649, descend flight level 110, rate of descent 2000 or greater.
Descend flight level 110, 2,000 feet per minute or greater, Scandinavian 649er.
Alpha 215, flight level 200 with you.
Alpha 215, hello identified, descend flight level 110, expedite.
Descent level 110,
And expedite.
Easy 21 Victor Victor, turn right heading 210.
Turn right heading 210, easy 2 Victor Victor.
What's on only?
118 decimal 205, easy 2 Victor Victor.
Bremen radar, schönen guten Tag, Scandinavian 1641, flight level 220, we have information Kilo, inbound Migos.
Scandinavian 1641, Bremen radar, hello, identified Kilo, correct. Proceed direct Bokmu and descend to flight level 100. Expect vectors for ILS runway 23.
Direct Bokmu, descend flight level 100, expecting vectors for the ILS 23 Scandinavian.
Wings 96 Kilo, continue descent to flight level 70. Eurowings 96 Kilo, continue descent to flight level 70.
Continue descend 70, Eurowings 96 Kilo.
Scandinavian 649er, turn right heading 240, descent to flight level 70.
Right turn 240, descend to flight level 070, Scandinavian 649er.
Bremen radar, Lufthansa 2811 at 23,500, descending to flight level 110, inbound no-go.
Lufthansa 2811, Bremen radar identified, turn right heading 070 and descend to flight level 70, expect vectors ILS runway 23. Contact Hamburg arrival 118.205, call sign only.
19205, call sign 5 from the call sign.
Scandinavian 649er, descend to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1022.
QNH 1022, descend 4,000 feet, Scandinavian 649er.
Flight level 70, reduce speed to 20 knots.
Descend flight level 70, speed 220 knots, Scandinavian 1641.
Scandinavian 649er, turn left heading 140, fly speed 220 knots.
Left turn 140, speed 220 knots, Scandinavian 649er.
Radar, gute German Air Force 024, 4,000 feet, inbound Gesto.
German Air Force 024, Bremen radar, hello, identified, expect vectors for ILS runway 23, but be advised, expect some waiting time due to heavy traffic inbound at the moment.
Roger, expecting vectors ILS 23, German Air Force 024.
Scandinavian 649er, turn left heading 090.
Left turn 090, Scandinavian 649er.
And Scandinavian 649er, contact Hamburg arrival 118.205, call sign only.
Scandinavian 649er.
Scandinavian 1641, continue descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1.
And Delta India Kilo.
Good evening, Hamburg arrival, Scandinavian 649er, 4,000 feet, 220 knots on a heading of 090.
Scandinavian 649er, arrival hello, turn right heading 130, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
Right turn 130, descend 3,000 feet, Scandinavian 649er. Forgot to set QNH 1022.
Now short 215, contact Hamburg Tower 126.855, bye-bye.
126.855, 855, Airport 5 seconds away.
.649er, turn right heading 200, cleared ILS 23.
Right turn 200, cleared ILS 23, Scandinavian 649er.
Scandinavian 649er, for now maintain speed 200 knots or greater.
200 knots or greater, Scandinavian 649er. Scandinavian 649er, confirm heading 220 knots because it doesn't look like we're going to intercept the localizer on this heading.
Negative, turn now heading 190, I originally assigned you 200.
Apologies, 20, you said 200, my brain went 220. Left turn 190 to intercept the localizer, Scandinavian 649er. Sorry about that.
No problem. Scandinavian 649er, speed 170 knots or greater.
Speed 170 knots or greater, Scandinavian 649er. Alright, we'll go flaps 11. Flaps 15. Alright, we're intercepting the localizer. There's the field.
Hamburg arrival, Emirates 61, good evening.
Emirates 61, arrival, hello. Descend to altitude 3000 feet, turn left heading 260, cleared ILS 23.
Left 260 and descend 3000 feet, cleared ILS 23, Emirates 61.
10 miles, gear down. Three green. Alright, I'll be a left turn off the runway. Missed approach altitude is 4,000 feet.
Scandinavian 649er, free speed, contact Hamburg Tower 126.855, bye-bye.
Hamburg Tower 126.855, free speed. Thanks, drop Scandinavian 649er. And ground will be 120.121.725. Sorry, I'm gonna just set that now. And we'll go down to approach speed, which is 137.
Hamburg Tower, moin, Lufthansa 8 Echo Heavy, approach Heading Bravo 4, ready for departure.
Lufthansa 8 Echo, Hamburg Tower, moin, roger, wind
Flaps
250
28.
degrees, 4 knots, runway 33, cleared for takeoff, Joe.
And flaps 40.
Cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 8 Echo.
Hamburg Tower, Scandinavian 649er, 60 ME, ILS 23.
Scandinavian 649er, Hamburg Tower, hello. Roger, you're number 1, wind check 250 degrees, 4 knots.
Number 1, Scandinavian 649er.
Say again, please.
Taxi left
My
via
airplane, my
Delta
throttle.
1 and hold short of runway 33.
Taxi via left via Delta 1 and hold short right before unnecessary air.
Easy 21 Victor Victor, cross runway 33, after crossing contact apron on 121.705, Joe.
Cross runway 33 and after crossing contact apron on 121 say again, sorry, Victor.
121.705.
121.705 Victor.
Scandinavian 649er, wind 250 degrees, 4 knots, runway 23, clear to land.
Runway 23, clear to land, Scandinavian 649er. God, MSFS 2024 is a good-looking sim. Continue.
Aeroflot 215, cross runway 33, after crossing contact apron on 121.705, ciao.
Cross runway 33 and after crossing contact to apron 121.705. Thank you for the service via 5.
Bye bye, you're welcome.
All right, T-cell. Go manual braking and exit left. Flaps in. Welcome to Hamburg. Nice landing.
Scandinavian 649er, welcome to Hamburg. Taxi via Golf, hold short runway 33.
Taxi via Golf, hold short 33, Scandinavian 649er.
Lufthansa 2 Charlie Kilo, stand 3 Bravo, ready for push.